All right, welcome in it here, everybody. Thanks so much for waiting and stopping on by, being a part here once again on Behind the Arc Basketball tonight. As we'll be covering play-by-play, we're doing Kentucky versus Florida after the conclusion of Baylor versus TCU right now in like the last minute or so. Baylor leads at 67-49 up against TCU here in the final minute, but glad to have you guys on board once again, and thank you guys so much for stopping on by and waiting out for this stream. So Florida coming into this game, 5-2 record, 2-1 in the SEC, lost this last game at Alabama, 86-71, as they got themselves a top 45 offense so far this year for Florida. But they're going up against Kentucky, much improved, 2-0 start to the SEC here through their first two victories, very tight, but able to find sharp shooting presence. Able to get it from Dante Allen, 7 3-point shots made, and they unleashed him back against Mississippi State a week ago. And then the last game over Vanderbilt, tight one, 77-74. If you guys are new to the stream here, spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe here, folks. And I'm glad to have each and every single one of you on board. Behind the Arc fan, hey, what's good here? Jason, Vegas here, back in the stream. Larry, what is good here, man? Glad to have all you guys on board. Warren's back as well, as should be a good one between these two teams. A couple of times during the timeout, I'm going to check out of the game. I had a little bit of an emergency before to get to, so I'm going to be taking around the stoppage and times and stuff like that. I have another thing I might have to do until my family gets back home or so. It's not too good or so. Roger, welcome in, man. Glad to have you stopping by, brother. So Baylor going to get the W over TCU. 67-49 the score. That one has gone final as we get ready to tip off Kentucky and Florida in just a moment. Yeah, I heard about that. Jason Tatum, that's unfortunate, man, tested positive today. So he's going to be in quarantine another 10 to 14 days. Unfortunate, man. Yeah, I heard the Sixers are only going to be with like 7 players for their game or something like that. Behind the Arc fan going Kentucky by 5. Big Ben, welcome on the stream here, bud. Yeah, they gave the start to John Wolford, and obviously Goff is injured. Like, why in the world put him in there? Crazy season it's been. Roger predicts his Florida Gators by 13, 80-67 for his prediction out in this game today. Welcome on the stream, Ronnie. Kentucky by 60. No Alex Smith tonight. Ouch. That's going to be rough there for Washington football team. All right, Kentucky versus Florida. We're about to start it here, everybody. In just a moment. If you guys are new, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know in the chat who you guys got out in this game tonight for this one. This one taken on at Florida's home court out in this matchup. Taco going to play the 40 out of the 48 tonight. He's going to see a lot of big minutes. That is one thing for sure. Jose, welcome on board, man. Florida going in the white uniforms for this game. Blue numbers, blue letters with the orange outline. As we are almost ready to get this game tipped off. Kentucky going in the blue uniforms, white numbers, white letters. Here we go. At the tip-off circle, Castleton up against Sarr here as they get ready to tip this one off at Florida. And the ball goes into the hands of Kentucky first. Devion Mintz gets it tipped into his hands, puts it out at the top of the key to Askew. Kentucky with the ball first. Right wing perimeter. Over to the top here as that is Lance Ware. Dribbles towards his left, hands it off to Askew. Askew now at the left wing, guarded by Castleton. Looks to pass it. He does. Moves it over to Ware. Left baseline dribble. Swings it out right baseline, but he stepped out of bounds. Turnover Kentucky there. First possession by Lance Ware. Welcome to the stream, Cameron. Glad to have you on board, man. He's going out for the Gators. Kurt, welcome on the stream here from Australia. First possession now, Florida. 25 seconds through. As the Gators will dribble this one past half court. They move it over to Scotty Lewis. At the free throw circle, back outside to Appleby. Drives inside, puts it up and in. That's good for 2 off the glass. Florida on the board first here, 2-zip. Henry, welcome on the channel, man. He's going out for Kentucky here. Totally agree there. Vegas, Aaron Neesmith definitely needs to play more. That's one thing for sure. Christian, welcome on the channel, man. I'm taking Kentucky here. See if they can make it 3 straight. Very tight game, 81-78. Kentucky second possession. Sarr has it. Guarded by Castleton, moves it back out to the right wing. Brandon Boston, pro hot, floats it up. It got blocked. Castleton with the block. Florida second possession now with the basketball. As they move it over to the right wing. Wide open 3, they'll take it, and they make it. In transition, Anthony DeRuggi knocking down a triple for the Gators. Quick 5-zip lead here by Florida. Kentucky gets the inbound. Clock will stop with 18:43 left to go as we get a personal foul picked up on the court here. It's going to be by Florida. Kentucky inbounds. Mintz puts it at the right wing. Sarr hands it off to Mintz around the perimeter. Sarr passes over to Askew, top of the key. Moves it over to the left wing to Boston. Boston back outside. At the top, into the hands of Davion Mintz. Dribble. Pro hop. Inside. Moves it back. Left baseline cutter. BJ Boston gonna throw it down. That's good. Right there for the slam. So Brandon Boston able to get on the board for the first bucket. Big jam. Boston got the start in this game today for Kentucky. Pass inside over to Castleton behind the defense. That's good for Florida for 2. 7-2 the score. What's good, Ian? Glad to have you in the stream once again, man. Colin Castleton had his first 2 games in conference play really well. Averaged 23 through the first 2 as he was held in the last game, only the 13 though. Kentucky has it, down by 5. Moves it over to Mintz at the left wing. Mintz now dribbles free throw circle, takes the jumper. That's up, got it. It's good for 2. 7-4 to score, 14:42 left to go in the first half out in this one. Yeah, totally agree there, Cameron. When your best player goes down, it's just rough, man. I'm sending my thoughts out to him towards, hopefully he's going to be able to play basketball once again for Keontae Johnson, because, yeah, that's major loss when Florida lost their best player on the team this year. He was also fouled, so at the free throw line, Mintz hits it. 7-5 to score. 17:35 left to go first half. Gators have it. Trey Mann, free throw circle. Looks to pass it around the perimeter. He does at the right wing. Over into the hands of Appleby. Bounce pass right baseline. Castleton as he backs his way in the post guard by Sarr. Castleton, jumper off the mark. No good. Offensive rebound. DeRuggi puts it up. That's off the mark. Rattled out. Tipped up in the air. Rebound by Kentucky. Pushing tempo. Mintz. Here they go. Davion Mintz with the ball. Slips right there in the key. As they're going to call a travel as well on Davion Mintz. And it's going to go right back over to Florida. 17-13 left to go. This game's over on ESPN if you guys want to know where it's at. Tyrese Maxey, 39 points, stepping up tonight for Philly. 115-103. As, yeah, Philly's down to like 7 players. Ouch. It's going to be Florida basketball here on the inbound off the travel. More to slip by Mintz as he tried to dribble the length of the court for the layup. Florida has it at the left wing. Trey Mann dribbles as Sarr switches off to guard him. Now it's Askew guarding him. Mann takes the 3, rolled around the rim and goes in. That's good for the triple by Mann. 10-5 Gators. 16:50 left to go first half. Kentucky basketball now. Askew puts it at the top of the key. Isaiah Jackson hands it off to Boston. Back outside to Jackson. And once again to Askew. He has it at the top of the key. Dribbles, left elbow. Looking to pass it out. He does into the hands of Brandon Boston. Boston now dribbles. Stop and pop jumper. Free throw circle. No good off the back iron. Rebound goes to Scotty Lewis from Florida here. As Jackson tried to go for the board. He went down right at the baseline. Clock will stop. 16:28 left to go. First half in this one. Keontae Johnson's not playing. He's out. He's out for like the foreseeable future. So he's been just like as a mentor to the players for Florida. So it's going to be a long recovery, I feel like, for Keontae Johnson to get back. Hey Armando, welcome on the stream, bud. Glad to have you in the stream, brother. Brayton, welcome on the stream. I'm been doing pretty well, hanging in there. John, welcome on the channel, man. Clemson, Alabama rolling right now. Another W today, and it was Sharif Cooper played today for Auburn, so that was his first game of the season. There, he was able to get granted eligibility. He was able to play today. So looks like they're gonna have to fix the net right now. So that's what happened underneath the net. Just unlatched a piece from it. So we're gonna go on a timeout here in this game. 10-5 to score, and they will have to fix the net as there's a piece of the net that has just like completely just gone off, or so as there's a nice hole in some of the webbing right there in the net. Alright, so right now on the timeout here, folks, glad to have you guys on board on the channel. Yeah, I really do hope so, man, that Peyton Pritchard will go off tomorrow. Later tonight, I plan on covering Vince. Washington football team against the Buccaneers later tonight. Alright, so Davion Mintz leading the way for Kentucky. As he got the jumper, hit the free throw. He's got 3 points so far, 2 by Brandon Boston. That's where the 5 points has gone to in this game so far. For the Florida Gators, leading scorer Colin Castleton in the post with 4 points so far, 2 for 2 from the floor. 3 points by Trey Mann, along with 1 assist, and then 3 by DeRugi off the first 3-point shot of the game. Hey, welcome in, Ross. Glad to have you in the stream, man. Roll Tide doing really well this season. Great start to SEC play. Great turnaround they have had. Braden's winning by 505 right now in fantasy. Wow. Alright, so right now we're just on a timeout. I'm going to step away for just a moment. I have to go check up on something, and then I'll be back probably about like 2 minutes or so. So I'm going to put the break slide up. I'll be back in 2 minutes here, everybody is. We're right now on a timeout. Alright, so we get back into this game, and they're still fixing the netting right now, right after the timeout was taken. 10-5 currently to score, everybody. As, yeah, this looks like this could take probably a while until we get right back into this one, because they have to fix the netting of the hoop. So they had to cut it down. So, cut down the nets. Not even 5 minutes into it, and gonna have to put up a whole new net out there. So that's what's gonna happen in a little bit, it looks like. So, interesting scenario there. I remember there was a stoppage and a pause in one of the playoff games for the NBA. It was Dwight Howard who just bent the rim cockeyed, and then we had to take like a 12 to 15 minute break so the crew could fix the rim, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. The crew has to go up there and fix the net. So we are on stoppage in time with 16:28 left to go first half. 10-5 currently the score is Florida leading it so far. So I'll go back to the timeout slide here for you guys. If anybody's new on the stream, make sure to spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. If you'd like to be notified about future play-by-play live streams here. I cover college games, also NBA games here on Behind the Arc Basketball, and welcome all on the stream for being a part. Later today is going to be a special live stream. It's going to be an NFL game for the Buccaneers versus Washington football team later tonight for the late night playoff game. So feel free if you guys are interested to join me on that one. Yeah, so let's see what we got today. College basketball games going down. Texas able to win it 72-70 with a game winner by Andrew Jones in the right corner. It was Texas who tried to go inside and looking like they were going to go in transition with a layup there in the waning seconds of the game. Incredible passes. They dished it over to the right corner. Andrew Jones left completely wide open. Took the three and sunk it down as Texas won. Final score 72-70 over West Virginia. Creighton destroyed St. John's 97-79. Tennessee won against Texas A&M 68-64. Rutgers is really struggling. I got to call them on Tuesday against Michigan State, and they only put up like in the 40s for their point total. Yeah, they've been really struggling. Rutgers lost today against Ohio State 79-68. Duke beat Wake Forest 79-68 as well today. And then Virginia over Boston College 61-49. So those were some of the scores. Baylor able to get it done. Big second half. Outgained TCU 40-21. Jared Butler with 28 points en route to a Baylor victory 67-49. And then Texas in progress right now against Oklahoma. Or Kansas in progress right now against Oklahoma. Kansas leads it 29-24. Texas Tech up against Iowa State 68-41. And Houston leading big 63-38 over Tulane. So those are the scores going on right now. So they're still at this moment fixing the net. So we're gonna take another break. I have to check up on something. I'm gonna be back in about like 2-3 minutes with you guys here. As before I do so, let's get up in the chat. Gonzaga's an easy schedule coming up. It looks like in the WCC. Jack here, got to give Alabama credit. Yep, did win over Tennessee. They are improving big time for Alabama on a roll to start off conference play, looking good right now. So it's only down to 2 undefeated teams in the SEC, Alabama and Kentucky. That's it. It's the Roll Tide are rolling at the moment. Vegas broke the rim in a glass with an insane dunk. So I'm going to put it on the break slide once again. I'll be back in about like 2-3 minutes with you guys once again. Alright, we are right back into it now, so we finally resumed the game. The net has been replaced here. 16:28 left to go, first half, as we are back into action. Florida leads it 10-5. Kentucky gets the inbound underneath their hoop, and they put it up and in. Score off the backboard, that's good for 2. 10-7 now as we welcome you guys back in here out to the stream with 16:10 left to go in the first half. Florida top of the key with the ball into the hands of Trey Mann, moves it over right wing. Noah Locke has it as he is guarded by Mintz. Locke dribbles at the top, looking to pass it, and they'll move it over to Scotty Lewis. Lewis at the right baseline. He dribbles, tiptoes the baseline underneath, lost control of it, goes out of bounds. So turnover there by Scotty Lewis. It's going to be Kentucky basketball as the clock stops with 15:56 first half. Kentucky will get the inbound. Dante Allen checking into the game for the first time today. Puts into the hands of Starr. Back over to Allen as they've yet to pass half court. Askew will. He'll take a pass half court here as he is guarded by Noah Locke. Askew at the right wing. Back over to the top to Mintz. Mintz pass back outside. They'll take a three. They hit it. Dante Allen making his mark here. Tie game at 10. Doing what he did a week ago. Unleashing that W against Mississippi State. Big reason why, because of his 7 triples that he took in that game that he made. Florida bounce pass. Right baseline off the double team. They move it back out to the top to Lewis. Scotty Lewis has it here at the top of the key. 15:15 left to go. They'll take a deep 2 jumper. Lock off the mark. No good. Rebound Jackson for the Wildcats. Kentucky here with a chance to take the lead. Askew guarded by Lewis. Over to Jackson at the top of the key. Shot fake, moves it over to Mintz. Mintz with a 3-point shot as well. Bounce past Isaiah Jackson. Double teamed in the post. Backs his way now. Puts it up. No good. Rebound off the back iron goes into the hands of Omar Payne. They'll take a pass half court with Trey Mann. 14:50 left to go. Mann now dribbles left elbow. Guarded by Askew. Back out to the left corner. Florida has it with Lewis now. Lewis dribbles. Passes over right corner. Shot fake. Payne tries to take it inside. Pass into traffic. Gets tipped. Goes out of bounds. Turnover Florida. So Kentucky will have it right back. Defense, big key once again in this game for Kentucky. Packing the interior and able to force another turnover here by Florida as they've just tried to take it at right baseline. And it's been difficult so far for the Gators trying to get any sort of production out of anything from the right baseline area off passes towards the interior. So 14:35 left to go. Kentucky will have it. Puts into the backcourt into the hands of Mintz. Mintz on his man. He'll dribble past half court here as he's manned up to Noah Locke. Mintz over to left wing to Brooks. Back over to Askew now. Brooks will feed it over to Allen. Takes the 3. Hits it. Dante Allen, same spot. Exact location. Back-to-back triples for him as Kentucky takes the lead. 13-10. The score going to go on a timeout here as Mike White calls one for the Florida Gators. 14:19 left to go. First half. If you guys are new out on the stream here, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Glad to have each and every single one of you on board here tonight on Behind the Arc Basketball. This is game number 1 out of 2 streams, as we're going to go to a timeout currently. Second stream later tonight, I'm going to be covering a special live stream of the NFL. It's going to be Washington football team up against Tom Brady and the Bucs. So feel free to join me out for that. 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be moving out to the living room to cover that stream for you guys. Big one that I plan on doing for the special live stream tonight. We'll take a look. Quick scoreboard update here. Kansas and Oklahoma. That game's tied up at 31 in the final minute and a half left to go before halftime. As for other games in progress, Houston crushing Tulane 63-44. Texas Tech over Iowa State 70-44. Not even close. And Rutgers really struggling. 1-4 in the last 5 games, and they start out 6-0. I covered Rutgers on Tuesday night, and yeah, they couldn't even score 50 points. As we are back to action, 13-10 Kentucky. Dante Allen comes into the game, does his own thing, knocks down 2 triples, and things looking good for the Wildcats so far. Florida has a left baseline. Locke, guarded by Mintz, moves it out to the top of the key. Back out to left wing to Trey Mann. Mann now dribbles as he'll try to fling that one inside. Got tipped by Kentucky out of bounds to the baseline. So Florida will have it back under 14 left to go. Iowa versus Minnesota tomorrow, man. So many good games for tomorrow. I'm going to be covering early game tomorrow, so behind the arc basketball for breakfast, Providence versus Xavier, 11 o'clock Eastern time. That's going to be an early one. If you guys are on the West Coast, 8 a.m. in the morning Pacific time, behind the arc basketball for breakfast, a good one tomorrow. Florida get the inbounds. It's going to be a tie up here in the key. It's possession Florida, so Florida will get the basketball here. Welcome in Coy. He needs Kentucky to win, it looks like. Inbound coming up for Florida. They move it over into the key. Ball gets deflected, stolen away. Sarr with a steal. Pass up ahead of the pack. Boom! There goes the slam. Alley-oop throwdown. Keon Brooks Jr. making his impact. He is back. He is healthy. Looking better than ever. Able to throw down the lob right there over the top for two. So he is on the board here for his first two of the game. 13.5 left to go. Kentucky fans excited about that. Big hustle play. Askew tried to come up with a steal. That was close as he had it around the perimeter, but deflected off of his own teammate there, Jacob Toppin, went out of bounds. And the clock will stop here with under 14 left to go. 10-zip run by Kentucky, last 3.5 minutes. So nice breakfast game we got tomorrow night. Some good old brunch, or you could say breakfast for most people. Inbound by Florida coming up, 13.5 left to go. Gators get the basketball with Trey Mann, guarded by Askew at the top. Bounce pass over at the right wing to Castleton. Castleton dribbles now around the perimeter, hands this one off to Tyree Appleby. Back out left baseline, dribbles, pro hop inside to Rugy, puts it up, reverse hander. Goes down right there with a layup for two. 3-point game, Wildcats have it. Jacob Toppin pushes up the floor now. As it went over to Allen, back over to Toppin around the perimeter. Askew will have this basketball in his hands as he moves it over to the left wing to Keon Brooks. Back over to Askew. Askew passes over to Brooks at the top of the key. Shot fake Brooks. Takes his man inside. Turnaround jumper. And that will be travel right there by Keon Brooks. They call. So we'll go right back over to Florida. By the way, Kentucky playing clean basketball tonight. 0 personal fouls here in this game. So we got 12:49 left to go. Yeah, Cameron puts out, how can Florida beat LSU, but they're probably going to lose to a 3-6 team. Every single day of college basketball is just random this year, man. So many upsets. The Dayton Flyers lost to Fordham, but yesterday they beat Davison in overtime, so it's crazy. Davison lost by 2 against Texas. Davison lost by 1 against Providence. It's insane, like, how many upsets there's been this year. Right corner jumper, no good by Florida, rebound Kentucky. And yeah, I covered a Florida game against Alabama back on Tuesday, and Florida was settling for way too many 3-point shots. And Kentucky here, they're going for open looks like that. Sarr just couldn't make it though. Missed it at the right baseline as he had it open. A rebound back to Florida. Gators will have it. Olivier Sarr, he's been kind of back and forth as far as that jumper. Missed the game winner against Louisville. Missed the game winner against Notre Dame at that same spot. Florida missed the 3, but they're able to get the tip in. That's good for 2. 15-14 now to score, 11:55 left to go. Pass ahead of the pack. Kentucky throwing it down by Olivier Sarr right there in the 3-point lead. Hey, what's good, Bradley? No problem, man. Glad to have you out on the stream once again, brother. Olivier Sarr with 4 now for the Wildcats. Step back deep, 2. Florida takes it. No good, rattled out by Trey Mann. Rebound goes to Kentucky once again. Mintz will take it past half court. Puts the ball into the hands of Keon Brooks. Brooks guarded at the top of the key by DeRouge. Brooks bounce pass, right elbow. Over to Toppin as he takes his man inside. That's Trey Mann. Puts it up top and missed the layup. Too high off the glass. Rebound back to the Gators. Florida will dribble past half court. 11:15 left to go. Trey Mann has it. Mann moves it out. Left wing to left corner. Florida dribbles at the left elbow. Moves it back out around the perimeter to Tyree Appleby as he is guarded by Allen. Appleby takes a 3. Hits it, and we're tied up at 17. Big triple. 17-17 right now. LA over Seattle in the wild card playoffs. 3-zip, so a field goal by the Rams to start off. 10:50 left to go here. Bounce pass. Kentucky has it. Sarr, guarded by Castleton. Moves it over. Open jumper Toppin. He takes it, makes it. Wide open at the right elbow. Great decision for a pass there by Olivier Sarr. Florida will have it right back. 10.5 left to go, first half. Right baseline dribble Trey Mann. So he tried to take it underneath. Clock will stop now with 10:37 left to go. Yeah, Richmond against VCU on the 16th. Interesting thing today, VCU got crushed in the second half by URI. So URI 6-6. You can say records are deceiving, but for Rhode Island this year, if they're able to pull it together, they can possibly I'm not sure if an at-large bid is going to be at discussion at this point, but it could very well be if you knock off teams like St. Louis. But for the rest of the year, Rhode Island has to run the table basically out of the A10 because they're 6-6. And look at the teams that they lost against. Wisconsin was one of those teams on that list that they lost against, but they also lost in their season opener with 5 new transfers from the team against Arizona State in a back-and-forth game. That loss against Boston College is a crusher, though. That's the unfortunate one. So 19-17 now the score here, everybody. I'll be back later tonight. Special live stream, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Buccaneers versus Washington football team for the wild card playoffs. Feel free to join me back for that one. Alright, so scoreboard update here. Seahawks-Rams now tied up at 3 as the Seahawks just got a field goal in the second quarter, 3-3 with 10:30 left to go second quarter. In the NBA, Nuggets able to beat the Sixers 115-103. Tyrese Maxey, he played college hoops last season for 1 year at Kentucky, scored 39 points, by the way, for a very thin Philadelphia 76ers team. And then today for college hoops, Oklahoma taking the lead up at halftime against Kansas, 33-31, the score in that one. Texas Tech all over Iowa State, 73-47, and Houston up against Tulane. Score in that game is 67-46. Yeah, totally agree, man. Definitely should have won against BC. That when you look back at tournament resumes, that's just gonna be the crusher there. Yeah, I said it for public, Bradley, because the last time it wouldn't let me do it as members. Because I guess in order to view the stream, you have to be a member. So I only have like 3 people watching it, which is odd. It used to be for members and mods, but it kept on giving me a notification if I make it live for members that mods wouldn't be able to see it for some reason. It's very odd. Yeah, I'll take Richmond over VCU. VCU's a really young team, but they've been shockingly pretty good this year. All right, so I'm going to be back in about like 2 minutes from now or so. Right now we're on a timeout. I'm just going to check up here for just a moment and see how we're going with the thing that I'm doing as well during this time. So I'm going to be back here in about like 2 minutes or so. Alright, so we are right back into this. 19-17 the score after the timeout. 10:37 left to go. First half. Florida's going to get the inbound underneath, but yeah, they're going to get the inbound in just a second underneath. What's good, Matt? Appreciate it, man, for stopping them by. Yep, Tennessee able to beat Texas A&M today. One of the more bottom teams in the SEC for this season for Texas A&M. Yeah, big win for the Flyers last night, man. It's been just a shocking season, man. They lose against Fordham. They win in overtime against Davison. Inbound for Florida. They have it around the perimeter for the Gators. Trey Mann with the basketball. As he's going to take a 3 from the perimeter and hits it. Goes down right there by the Gators. They take the lead by Trey Mann's 3. Florida 4 for 6 from the outside. So far, Kentucky perfect 2 for 2. 10:20 left to go first half. Kentucky dribbles past half court. Jackson hands it off now as Boston around the perimeter will put it back into the hands here of Mintz. Mintz pass inside over to Sarr. He puts it up. Rejected by Florida. Ball gets tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Gators. Major rejection coming in there. That was Omar Payne as he had his fingers right all over that. Left baseline jumper, no good. Rebound goes right back over to Florida. Florida takes a 3 from the outside. Hit the rim short, no good. Rebound back over to Kentucky. Kentucky passes right baseline. All right. Yeah, I'll try that sometime, Bradley. I'm gonna stick with public tonight here because everybody saw it public and they probably wonder why, if they're like not a mod, why they can't see the stream anymore. That's why. But I'll probably try that for like another stream in the future and just see if that's able to go about. Hey, there we go. Back to the Dayton Flyers again. No more clowns that they have. So back to the regular looking Flyers here, with good game updates from now on. So it's just that one dud of a game. And yeah, Fordham took on Duquesne today. They took them down to the wire. Fordham's defense is actually pretty good. Like they're that type of team that just cannot score, but with their defense, they'll play games that the final score will be something in the 50s, or like today, that score against Duquesne, that was in the 40s today. Kentucky able to get the basketball back, is able to stop Florida defensively there inside. Here goes the Wildcats, moves it out to Boston, takes the 3. Oh, he sinks it for Brandon Boston. How many of those have we seen this season? Not too many. Able to hit that one, though, from the perimeter. Boston with a triple now on the board. 22-20. 9:10 left to go first half. Yeah, that'll be cool, Vegas. Thanks so much for the update, man. Yeah, I definitely plan on streaming the Daytona race, but I'll keep that in mind, and I'll use that towards like the Daytona race. Kentucky tries to drive inside, missed the layup off the steal, rebound by the Gators. 8:50 left to go in the first half. Scotty Lewis will dribble past half court. At the right wing for Lewis, guarded by Boston. Lewis dribbles now. Step back jumper, free throw circle. Takes it. Off the back iron, no good. Askew going to come up with a rebound for the Wildcats. Kentucky moves it over to left wing. He passes over top of the key Jackson. Dribbles around the perimeter. Moves it into the hands here of Boston. Back outside to Askew. Better shot selection so far for the Wildcats. Left baseline. Shot fake Sart. Sart takes it inside. Floats it up off the back iron and goes into the net. That's good for 2. Able to get 2 bounces right off the back rim and able to sail right straight down into the net. Olivier Sarr with 6 points. 24-20 now the score. Gators basketball approaching 8 minutes left to go first half. Florida at the left wing. Trey Mann, double teamed. Dribbles now top of the key. Pass over to Lewis. Lewis guarded by Boston. That's a great match over there with 2 top 10 recruits for 5 stars. Step back 3 in the air. Right corner off the mark. No good by Appleby. Offensive rebound. Florida able to get a big rejection in the post by Jackson. And Kentucky with Askew sliding down on the ball. Able to get the steal right off of that one after the rejection. That's a tip off the fingertips of a Florida player right after the rejection. Kentucky takes it past half court. We do have a foul, though. Away from the basketball, as the clock will stop with 7:32 as well. So Kentucky here making the extra pass. It's been big so far for them. Able to take some more open jumpers. That's how they've been able to do it from the perimeter. Looking pretty solid. Dante Allen, perfect 2 for 2 from the outside. And Boston even hit a perimeter triple as well. So 24-20 the score. We'll be back after the timeout. Yeah, 2 underperforming top 10 recruits. Yep. Yeah, Scotty Lewis, if he had a great season last year, he would have been drafted high in the first round, but just underwhelming season. And this year for Brandon Boston, it has started that way, but still got the second half to the season so far. It's just the thing's just been the Utes so far. It's just been just really young roster, trying to put the pieces together. Things have been getting better though. What's good, Ant? Appreciate bud for stopping them by. Looking good right now, man. So we go on to a timeout. Rams and Seahawks. Rams just got another field goal, so they lead at 6-3. I'm just gonna the doorbell just rang, so I have to go to a break right here. We'll be back hopefully in a couple minutes, guys. All right, so 24-20 the score in this one so far as we got 7:32 left to go in the first half here, folks. As we're going to get back into this one in just a moment. K. Marlin, welcome onto the stream, man. Hunter Dickinson looking really good right now. He is up there for candidate for Freshman of the Year, going up with Cunningham and Suggs right now for a top 3 candidate for Freshman of the Year. So we are back into action. Florida basketball once again. 7:33 left to go first half. And the Gators will get the inbound here in the backcourt. Trey Mann. He has it as he will take this one right past the half-court logo. Guarded by Askew. Florida on a scoring drought here the past 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Man at the right wing, double teamed by Keon Brooks and Askew, able to give that over to Castleton. Castleton passes over to Lewis at the left wing, guarded by Mintz. Feeds it over inside. Castleton passes over to the cutter right there. Missed the layup, no good. Able to get help with a tip-in for 2 by Castleton. Off the layup, missed by DeRouge. As there's also a foul underneath picked up by Kentucky. Clock will stop with 7:10 left to go. They're going to say they didn't, so they're not going to count the bucket. It looks like the foul was picked up by Kentucky before the tip-in. So it was on the drive to the bucket off the first missed layup by DeRouge. So this will be DeRouge here shooting 2 at the free throw line for the Gators. Rams just scored a touchdown. Wow. 13-3. So Rams looking good. And Jared Goff playing. And yeah, he's actually playing today. Wow. Cooper Kupp's got 4 catches for 78 yards. And they get a defensive touchdown. Yeah, Darius Williams with a defensive touchdown. First free throw, that one's good. At the line by DeRouge. Where did I find that this scoreboard I have? It's all generic made. I made it all myself, so I custom built it. I did it. It's on like a desktop site called Paint that I was able to create my own scoreboard, channel logo, and do like the whole background thing too, which is pretty cool. So DeRouge 1 for 2 that trip at the free throw line. Florida will get the ball right back. They move it over to the top, back over to DeRouge. Takes the 3, hits it. Tie game up, 24 even. 6:50 now left to go in the first half. Kentucky will have it. Davion Mintz dribbles with this ball, takes it past the half-court logo, puts into the hands of Askew now. Askew at the right wing, guarded by Glover. Drives inside, shovels it out, left corner Mintz, back out to the top of the key. Brooks drives, cuts to the basket, makes it. That's good for 2 right there as he lays it up and in. Attacking the lane. Exactly what Keon Brooks did that possession there. 6:20 left to go and making the extra pass. Kentucky's been great with that so far, not settling for contested jumpers like they were throughout their non-conference games. They are making the extra pass, and it is really helping today. Askew pickpockets the ball right away from Trey Mann as he tries to take it inside. Pass up the court here over to Brooks, and he gets stripped from behind. The clock will stop with 6:07 left to go. Big defensive play there by Askew. Okay, so yeah, Keontae Johnson, by the way, guys, he has been, because I got a question here earlier on in the stream, if he's playing or when he'll be able to return. Keontae Johnson, on that ESPN graphic they just showed, yeah, I didn't expect it to, for him to play for the rest of the season, but wasn't sure myself, but, according to ESPN, they just put is out for the remainder of the season for Keontae Johnson. Kentucky with an inbound, going to take it inside. Isaiah Jackson able to put it up. That's good for 2, and he got fouled as well. So Jackson with 2, and he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot one here also. 6 minutes left to go. Kentucky attacking the lane. They have the chance to pull it by 5. Jackson's free throw. And no good off the back iron. Rebound by Lewis for the Gators. Yeah, this game a close one. All throughout the game it's been a close one so far. Scotty Lewis dribbles. Moves it out to the right wing. Over to Glover. Glover on the ground with a basketball, and Kentucky going to force up a steal here. Diving forward for Dante Allen. Here goes the Wildcats here with the basketball. 5.5 left to go. At the top of the key, Allen. Shot fake. He dribbles free throw circle. Moves it back around the perimeter to Brooks. Keon Brooks back outside to Mintz. Davion Mintz here at the top of the key. Leaves it over for Askew. Askew dribbles left baseline fadeaway. Takes it off the back rim. Tipped out. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by Jackson. And Florida will have it with 5:23. Razorbacks roll. Welcome on the stream. He's going to take Florida here by 4. Yeah, I heard that too. That's just unfortunate, man. Just so sad for Keontae Johnson because he was coming in with like high expectations, potential SEC player of the year this year. As Florida tries to drive inside, Castleton goes in for the layup and his shot gets blocked from behind, out of bounds there by Jackson. So Florida will get the inbound with 5:09 left to go. First half. Gators inbound, put it at the free throw circle. Dribble now with DeRugi inside, turnaround jumper, a tough one. Great defense for Kentucky there, able to get that rebound. Wildcats have scored 14 out of the 28 points tonight from the bench. At the top of the key for Kentucky. They'll hand it off to Askew. Moves it over to Mintz, wide open, selects and takes the 3. He is automatic. Davion Mintz hits down the triple. When you give him that much space right there, he is dangerous from the perimeter, and they have found that past couple of games here when Mintz. 4 for 5 Kentucky is from the outside. 4.5 left to go. Florida basketball. They move it over to the right wing. DeRugi dribbles, bounce pass outside into the hands of Glover. And they'll take a jumper. That one good for 3 from the outside there by Florida. Can I do a stream for the Michigan game? I plan on covering Michigan and Wisconsin on Tuesday, so that game's over on ESPN, so I'll be doing that one. I actually don't get the Big Ten Network, so I can't cover the one that's on, I think it's one tomorrow that there's one. But I'll be covering Michigan because they're on ESPN on Tuesday. That should be a great game when they play against Wisconsin. 3:50 left to go first half. Florida basketball. What's good, Jose? Welcome back on the stream here, bud. Gators at the top. Glover moves it over as they drive inside, and no good. Missed the layup. Tipped up. A rebound. Kentucky. Looking good so far for the Wildcats. Grinding this one out off the battles in the post. 3.5 left to go. Slowing it down with Askew. Askew moves it back over to Brooks. Pass inside the key to Jackson. Takes the jumper over Castleton. Hits it. Good for 2. 6-point Wildcats lead. Arkansas snaps his 2-game skid in the SEC, looks like. 16 points off the bench today. Kentucky able to have their players produce right off the bench with 16. Gators have it, approaching 3 left to go. Florida dribbles inside, and they're stripped of the basketball. Quays Glover couldn't come down with it, and Kentucky comes over the steal. Here they go, 2-on-1. Askew drives to the bucket. Big block, though, from behind. He missed the layup, and actually it went off the backboard. It got swatted out of bounds by Florida here. The clock will stop with 2:55. And it's going to be Kentucky basketball. I believe here if we're going to go to a timeout. Yeah, Michigan State versus Iowa. That's on Thursday, 9 p.m. Yep, super late game. So many great games that they have had on. So we are going to go on a timeout here, folks. 33-27 the score. Seahawks just scored a touchdown, so it's a 3-point game now, 13-10 the score currently. Who did I get for Arkansas at LSU? I'm going to take Arkansas for that one. That's going to be like a ton of points in that game. Like both of them are going to score at least 80. By the way, Kansas only up by 2 against Oklahoma. 36-34 to score. Houston winners over Tulane 71-50. And Texas Tech over Iowa State today. Big time 91-64. Yeah, Michigan State lost to Purdue by 1 last night. Michigan State was up at halftime, like 31-15. So yeah, Kentucky's defense in the post looking so good right now. tonight. Just swarming to the basketball, knocking down perimeter shots. Great shot selection indeed out of this game. And getting production out of everybody here. So it's not just like one player carrying the team. Multiple weapons here with Mintz with 6. Sar with 6 as well. Boston with 5. 6 by Allen off the bench. Jose's going to go for Georgetown later in the other game. He looks like he used to have a jacket, but his ex-girlfriend lost it. Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, Georgetown's not really having like a great season this year. They lost a ton of players last year. Their top player, Mac McClung, transferred over to Texas Tech. And yeah, it's just more like a rebuilding year for them. For the Gators so far, Anthony DeRugia leading scorer. He's got 11 points by him. Colin Castleton's only got 2. So he's 1 for 3 from the floor so far. Castleton, his first 2 games playing, he really heated up those first 2 games there against Vanderbilt and LSU. What's good, Vaughn? Welcome to the stream here, bud. All right, 33-27 the score here. So we're going to get right back into it. Kentucky, after losing the previous 6, it's been streaks for them. Now on a 2-game winning streak, very tight last week against Mississippi State in overtime, and then able to come down with a victory on Tuesday over Vanderbilt. They have another opportunity here to see if they can make it 3-0 with 2:55 left to go, but still a lot of game remaining. Kentucky off the inbound, right baseline jumper, and the ball gets wedged there right in between the rim and the backboard. It's going to be Kentucky basketball. So Davion Mintz's right baseline jumper just gets wedged in between the backboard and the rim. Oh, sorry to hear that, Vaughn. Hopefully everything's going okay for you, bud. Best of luck right there to you, man. And speedy recovery if you have anything wrong with your hand. Sar will take the 3. Top of the key, no good. That's not really your 3-point shooter that you want taking that type of shot there. Florida gets the rebound. Gators have it, and Brandon Boston in the key going to come up with a big steal as he dribbles past half court. Moves over to Mintz. Mintz dribbles, floats it up in the key. That's good for 2. They extended here, 8-point lead, largest one tonight for Kentucky. 2:15 left to go first half. Florida basketball. They have it at the top of the key with Trey Mann. Bounce pass right wing Scotty Lewis. Lewis now dribbles, moves it out right baseline, shot fake Payne, guarded by Ware, takes the jumper, no good, rebound by Lance Ware as well. Omar Payne, he had a good look, just couldn't hit it. Under 2 minutes left to go before halftime, Wildcats with a great start. By the way, Kansas only up by 2 against Oklahoma, 38-36. Top of the key with Boston. Boston at the left wing over to Mintz. And Mintz has it here, top of the key. Dante Allen pushes it over to Mintz. Mintz at the top of the key. Shot fake, takes the 3 straight away. Off the back iron, no good. A rebound by Castleton of the Gators. Iowa versus Wisconsin on the 18th right there. If that game does play according to plan on that date. But that's going to be a great matchup. So many good Big Ten games out on the schedule. Gators have it, minute 15 remaining. They pass it over left baseline. Inside the post, puts it up off the side of the backboard. Florida does save it, though, as Omar Payne gets it back into the key. They slip with the basketball on the ground. They're able to pass it off to Payne Pro Hop. Inside over to Castleton. A rough possession, but able to get something out of nothing. They're going to wave off the bucket, though. So they're not even going to count the bucket, so never mind. 1 minute left to play. That last possession was just, man, that was just rough there. As far as that possession. So they do count the bucket. That was late when ESPN put on the scoreboard. So it is 35-29. Alright, so it is 35-29. 1 minute left to play here. Yeah, paid Pro Hop left it over Castleton. Okay, so what they're looking at is the clock now. That's why. So it should be like a minute and 1 left to go. Oh, they're looking at the shot clock too, with 1:01 left to go. So they are looking at this with a shot clock to see if that bucket counted there by Florida. Yeah, they got it off before the shot clock, it appeared to be. They're looking at it right now. When it hit red, though, it hit off the glass. Toughest test for Florida, obviously Arkansas. Arkansas can score a ton of points. Same as LSU. They're in the same boat as Arkansas. Two similar type of teams, I feel like. And I think it's going to be more like, cause yeah, they just took on Tennessee too. So don't count out Kentucky here in this game, though. If they come out with a W against Florida here, and they're still undefeated in the conference 3-0. Oh, sorry to hear that, Vaughn. Oh, he has a question for me. Doesn't know if he asked this question before, but do I think masks will become permanent? Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's gonna be probably optional or so, use your judgment, I think. When we're down the road. Because people had already been wearing masks, I don't know. 50 seconds left to go. 35-29 to score here. Kentucky gonna have it back. At the top of the key, Askew. Moves it over left wing. Shot fake, Dante Allen takes the jumper left baseline. Off the mark, no good. Rebound by the Gators. 6-point game here with 30 seconds left to go. And we have a stoppage in time right now on the court here as the clock will stop away from the basketball once again. This game is taking really long or so. Should have already been in at halftime by this point and heading out of the halftime. Alright, so stoppage in time here with less than 30 seconds left to go before halftime. Kentucky just looking good so far tonight. As far as their shot selection, making the extra pass. And their defense been key in the post as well. So Rams leading against the Seahawks now. Less than 2 minutes left to go before halftime in the NFL wildcard. 20-10, the score. That's cool, man. You're going to eat chicken and potatoes, looks like. But, as for Florida in this game, just settling for a lot of deep jumpers. Just hasn't been able to go down. Once again, I got to cover them against Alabama. Alabama took control of that second half, attacking the lane, driving to the bucket. And so far today, Kentucky's defense has shown up and really just taking Florida here and just limited their opportunities. So with 30 seconds remaining, right now, leading scorers look like this for the Wildcats. Davion Mintz with 8 points, Olivier Sarr with 6, and Dante Allen with 6 as well off the bench. Kentucky's bench looking really good in today's game. It's been a big key. And then for Florida here, Anthony DeRugi with 11, Trey Mann with 6, and Appleby with 5. Castleton's only got 4 today. We're going to get back to action. So they put back a little bit less time on the clock. So 27.8 seconds left to go. It's going to be Gators basketball. Trey Mann gets the inbound. He is guarded by Askew. Shot clock turned off. Florida has it. Florida at the left wing, guarded by Askew with Trey Mann. 15 seconds left to go. Mann now with the basketball. He dribbles, drives inside. It's going to get blocked underneath. Able to get it back. Mann passes over left corner. They'll take the three. And we do have a foul here picked up by Kentucky with 8.6 left to go. That's going to be a 5th personal foul by Kentucky. What's good, Colin? Welcome to the stream, bud. I'm hanging in there. Gators will get the inbound here. 8.6 seconds remaining before halftime. Mann the passer, passes back outside to Castleton. Shot clock turned off, hands it back over to Mann. Mann dribbles top of the key, bounce pass to Ruggi. Takes the three right before the horn, no good. A rebound Kentucky. And we go into halftime, Wildcats looking good. 35-29 with 1 half in this game over. As we'll move on to halftime here in the second half in about 15-20 minutes. Are you ever going to do NBA trivia again? Probably in the off season, most likely. Yeah, so Rams going to get the football as well here. 20-10, LA leading it over Seattle now with 1:21 left to go before halftime there. I'm just going to see if I can get up a college basketball scoreboard and see what's going on as far as the games today. Hey, what's good, Charles? Appreciate it, man, for stopping them by. Glad to have you on board. Thanks so much, brother. You guys are awesome for being a part here on the stream. So, yeah, later tonight I'll be covering the NFL, by the way, for a special live stream. I made it public out to everybody for this one as well tonight. It's going to be Buccaneers versus the Washington football team, so that's what I'm going to be doing later tonight around 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Kansas up against Oklahoma, 47-42. That game's over on CBS with about 13 minutes left to play remaining in that game. So, yeah, Kansas up by 5 so far in the second half. Yeah, Kentucky definitely pulling it together, able to get some three-ball shooters in the process, and great shot-making decisions that Kentucky has had. Making the extra pass, taking the open jumpers that they've been able to get, and able to create space around the perimeter. And Davion Mintz hit down a three-point shot. Brandon Boston, he even hit down a three-point shot as well by Boston. So he took one at the left wing, able to knock one down. And also Dante Allen, perfect 2 for 2 from the perimeter. The only questionable take that they had from 3 was Olivier Sarr. He took like a straightaway three-point shot. That was it. But other than that, good to see some knockdown shooters for this team because their defense doing big things right now. Isaiah Jackson, the reason why. 3 blocks by Jackson. And then for Florida here, leading the way for the Gators, happens to be Anthony DeRuggi, 2 for 4 from the perimeter. He's got 11 points. And Kentucky so far limiting Colin Castleton. Taking him away in this game, Colin Castleton only with 4 points and 3 rebounds, playing 14 minutes so far. Ian's Rams having so pumped up right now. They're looking good against the Seahawks. They just keep on having their number against Seattle, it seems like. TCU earlier today, TCU with a full court buzzer beater by their freshman Mike Miles to go up at halftime by 1. So that was the first time that Baylor had been trailing at halftime, and it happened on a 60-footer at the buzzer. Whatever happened to DK Metcalf being called the next Megatron? Oh, man, you're looking at a generational talent here with DK Metcalf that's just, he's going to go down as one of the top wide receivers someday, going down in the Hall of Fame if he keeps it up. Cameron's Dolphins didn't make it, so he is pulling for Tennessee later today. Oklahoma's made it a 4-point game now, 48-44 against Kansas with 12 minutes left to go. Let's see if I can pull up another scoreboard. For some reason, ESPN's not letting me see the full thing for it. So I'm going to see if I can get it over on like NCAA.com or something. CBS Sports. Tight game between Colorado State and UNLV. Colorado State leads it 81-80. That's like the Mountain West is playing what the America East are doing, same as the Patriot League, back-to-backs, with 2 days straight of basketball against the same team. So, with 13 seconds left to go, very tight game, Colorado State by 1 against UNLV. What if the football team upsets Tampa Bay? Then we'll talk about Tom Brady's legacy with all those weapons he has. Antonio Brown, Mike Evans will be playing today. Chris Godwin, all these legit names that they have that just couldn't pull it together this season. It's more of a shame for Bruce Arians if that happens this year, if it happens tonight, because if they can't pull the pieces together, and this Tampa Bay team, they're going to be going up to Washington, playing in a 30-degree weather tonight. But yeah, Alex Smith inactive. Yeah, if you bet against the Buccaneers and pull for the Washington football team, and that actually does happen, man, you're making yourself a payday. You're making yourself a payday like betting Fordham over the Dayton Flyers earlier this week. But I just cannot picture that happening. But you honestly never know. Never know, but I just don't see it happening at all. All the big names, I think Brady and the Bucs just cooking at the right time. They are peaking at the right time. And the only thing that can stop them is just the front four for Washington. Welcome on the stream, Matt. Hoping for the Washington win, Tom Brady's retirement. I'm a Patriots fan, and yeah, I think that Tom Brady should have retired a long time ago. He's just wrecking his legacy, especially if he loses tonight. That's going to be awful for his legacy. You never want to go out losers against a team without a nickname, against the Washington football team. Kansas State leading Oklahoma State early on, 10-6 to score. Rutgers has lost. They've lost 4 out of the past 5 games for Rutgers, so they're looking like they're going to be out of the top 25 this week. They lost today against Ohio State 79-68. Hey, welcome in, Ronnie. Appreciate it, man, for stopping on by. Let's see what we got here. See if I can pull that up. We got 35-29. The line. Okay, so 139. We got Florida's actually the favorite too. I just looked. So 4.5. They're the favorite. Yes, Andrew Nemhard is he plays off the bench behind Jalen Suggs now at Gonzaga. So we got 64 here. Florida's a good offensive team. I think this game's going to pick up in the second half. Kentucky's defense has been the key here in the first half. I think it's going to pick up more in the second half, so I would take the over in this one, Ronnie. And it might be even like close enough because Kentucky's been in a lot of really close games that this one might even go into overtime. So if it goes into overtime in a tight game here, because Florida's been able to score a lot this season, but last game against Alabama really struggled as far as scoring, and once again today, 29 at the half. Imagine Washington football team having Deshaun Watson next season as their quarterback. Yeah, they better come up with something creative here in the offseason. I feel like this one will, I think this one will pick up in the second half. Miami got a victory today against NC State, so all of that NC State possibility to be in the top 25, kind of fade that away today. Miami able to beat North Carolina State 64-59. Heisman already happened earlier this week. Duke won against Wake Forest 79-68. Richmond looked good over George Mason 77-57. And then, of course, Texas, the game winner at the right corner by Andrew Jones. With 1 second left to go, Texas won the game 72-70, completed a comeback over West Virginia. If you guys are new out here on the stream, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I cover play-by-play here of basketball action, college games, NBA games, and behind Eric basketball. Yeah, unless you're referring to next year here, they already decided that last week. Mississippi State winners over Vanderbilt, 84-81. Cats win by 15 here. Matt puts out, mark it down. Tennessee got the W over Texas A&M, 68-54. And out there for Vaughn, listening out here. California able to win their first Pac-12 game tonight, 84-78 over Washington. So, yeah, Washington, one of the worst power conference teams this year, all college basketball. Oh, man. Like, what in the world happened to Washington? They made it to the tournament last year, into the second round versus 2 years ago, second round in 2019 against UNC for Washington. That's when they had Matisse Thybulle on their team. And then last year they were just disappointing too, where they had Isaiah Stewart, Jaden McDaniels. Grayson, welcome on board, man. Hope all is going well. Yeah, might have seen Phillip Rivers' last game. Buffalo should have won it on the fumble. I can't believe that they said that Pascal caught that and he was down on the ground, and they didn't roll the fumble upon review. But either way, Buffalo won. Without James Bouknight tonight, UConn able to defeat Butler 72-60, the final. UConn looking good. Everybody's sleeping on them as they got themselves a 6-1 record this season. Yeah, me too, Vaughn. Really wish there was a tournament last year. What's good, Jamal Murray? Welcome to the stream here, man. Tampa's going to turn it up. I think so tonight. I think it's going to be a really difficult matchup for the Washington football team tonight. So yeah, later tonight I'll be covering a special live stream here. I'll be covering of the Buccaneers versus the Washington football team later tonight, 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be covering that game, a special live stream. By the way, Kansas, Oklahoma. This game is close right now. Kansas leads at 48-47 against Oklahoma with about 7:55 left to play. That game's over on CBS, so we'll keep you guys posted. Hey, what's good, Raven? Welcome back on the stream here. He stays just sleepy. Yep. Rams upset. It's looking like it right now, 20-10. Rams up against the Seahawks at halftime, and Russell Wilson with only 104 passing yards at the half. So, Rams have had the Seahawks numbers numerous times this year. And just, Seattle just can't put it together when they face the Rams. Yeah, Washington Wizards are yeah, they dropped yesterday's game against the Celtics. So yeah, they were 2-7 when they dropped that one. Oh yeah, Washington Huskies out 1-9 for the Huskies. Yep. Yeah, like besides Kansas State, they're like the second to worst power conference team college basketball. Hey, what's good, Landon? Welcome onto the stream here, bud. Hope all is going well. Yeah, hopefully we're able to get through no problems here with March Madness this season, and everybody's able to play, and everybody, all the teams are able to go there that are able to be selected into the tournament. Because say if like players start testing positive, then the team has to go in quarantine, and they have so many players out, then that would just be unfortunate because you wouldn't see March Madness for that team. So hopefully we get a fair March Madness with everybody who is selected on Selection Sunday makes the bracket and gets to play. Yeah, Nebraska's been like that for quite some time now. Nebraska was really bad last year. Yeah, I feel like they were like more horrendous last year than this season for Nebraska. Iowa State's pretty bad too. Iowa State got crushed today against Texas Tech, and they actually lost against Kansas State too. All right, Colorado State winners over UNLV, so UNLV disappointing season continues at 1-6 overall, 83-80, the final. So Colorado State completes the sweep of UNLV. Oklahoma and Kansas, this game is still right now down to the wire, approaching 7 minutes left to go. Kansas by 1, 48-47. Alright, so we're going to start off the second half here, folks. If you guys are new out on the stream, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Appreciate it all for stopping by here. 16 bench points in that first half by Kentucky. 10 assists made on 15 shots from the floor. And they have made the extra pass, taking the open jumpers and getting great shot selections tonight here for Kentucky. So that's been the key to their success in that first half. It's going to be Florida basketball first. They go right to left in the court. Gators. Haven't moves it over to Trey Mann at the right wing. Mann, as he'll pass it over top of the key. Into the hands of DeRougie, back outside left corner. Baseline dribble here. Appleby puts it up, no good. Rebound by Boston. Kentucky has it. Brandon Boston over to Mintz. Sails it out to Askew. Passing the post to Sarr. He'll put it up and able to get around the man as that's good for 2 with a layup by Olivier Sarr. So tied for the largest lead tonight in this game. 8-point lead by the Wildcats. 37-29 with 19:20 left remaining. Olivier Sarr with 8. Jeez, John Wolford left the game out in an ambulance. That's unfortunate, man, for him. Wow. And the Rams are winning right now. Playing with an injured Goff. Pro hop. Good for 2. Anthony DeRougie able to put it up and in off the backboard. 37-31, 6-point game. 19 minutes left to go. Other than the Big Ten, what's the best conference this year? Big 12 is right up there. So many stacked teams at the top of the Big 12. Baylor, Texas, Kansas, West Virginia, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma is going to be probably bubble tournament, same as TCU. And the timeout taken here in the court. Bounce past Kentucky, and Olivier Sarr with a two-handed throw down right there with a slam jam. So timeout taken on the floor. Clock will stop with 18:44. Florida down to 2 timeouts left. Kentucky with 3 timeouts remaining. Alright, so right now we're in the timeout here, folks. If you guys are new out on the stream, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I cover play-by-play basketball here on Behind the Arc Basketball. I cover college games, also NBA games here as well. Tomorrow night, tonight I'll be back for Buccaneers versus Washington football team as part of the special play-by-play live programming here later tonight at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow, early morning game going down. I'm going to cover Providence going up against Xavier for a Big East battle. That one should be a good one indeed. Yeah, good thing we finally have a March Madness this year. Fingers crossed, man. Definitely hope so. That's one thing for sure. All right, as we take a look at it, leading the way tonight in this game right now for Kentucky, that would be Olivier Sarr. 10 points all in the paint so far by him. 8 points by Davion Mintz. One of those was a three-point shot. Dante Allen off the bench. He has got 6. And then 5 by Boston, 4 by Brooks, 4 by Jackson, and Jacob Toppin with 2. Am I planning to play fantasy baseball this season? Probably not. Yeah, I played that, I think, like 3 years ago for fantasy baseball, and yeah, that was like a big joke. Yeah, it would have been crazy indeed, man, if we had March Madness last year. So many upsets. So what's going to happen this year? So many upsets once again. For the Florida Gators, Anthony Girougi leading the way. 13 points still for him. Trey Mann with 6 points. And Tyree Appleby with 5 so far. Castleton with only 4. They haven't been able to go off as they've been struggling. Especially inside in this game. Kentucky just been too tough to defend. Florida so far tonight shooting the ball 12 for 30 from the floor. And half their shots from the perimeter. 6 for 11 from the outside for Florida. Kentucky 17 for 33 today shooting. And they've also got as a team 4 blocks. 3 of those by Isaiah Jackson. So 39-31 the score. Really missing Keontae Johnson out for the remainder of the season for Florida, as they could have used his post presence inside, and Kentucky able to take advantage of that today. As Florida has the basketball, moves it over to Castleton. Dribbles to the post, puts it up, big block as that one's going to go touch the baseline as Castleton tried to go for it, and it went out of bounds. So Kentucky with a major block there by Keon Brooks. He has put a stamp on his impact today, and a big one today. Yeah, Boston has been just really disappointing this year. I think he should definitely stay another season and improve his game. 8-point game, 18-20 left to go. Askew pass over to the top to Brooks. Back outside to Askew. Dribbles towards the right wing. Moves it over to Boston. Takes the 3 off the mark, no good. And the ball tapped out of bounds. As it going up for the rebound, Olivier Sarr was also fouled. So Florida picks up the personal foul as the clock will stop with 18-14. First personal foul picked up here in the second half. Inbounds for Kentucky at the right corner. Mintz moves it over to Brooks. Keon Brooks hands it back over to Askew. Slides over to Mintz at the right wing. Able to get past the man here, right baseline. Sarr, shot fake. Now guarded late by Castleton. Passes over to the top of the key. Boston drives inside. Dish. Underneath there to Keon Brooks. Throws it down with a two-handed flush. Kentucky largest lead tonight by 10. 41-31, seeing the explosiveness tonight right there. We just saw it out of Keon Brooks Jr. 17:40 left to go, indeed. Dead by Daylight, appreciate here for stopping him by. Brooks looking good on his return back to action. Florida drives inside with a layup, as they will count the bucket good for 2, and the Gators will head over to the free throw line, shoot 1 as well. What's good, Steven? Welcome to the stream, bud. Dave McCormack from Kansas can't make a hook shot to save his life. Oof. Or hit a mid-range jumper. Watching Kansas versus Oklahoma right now, and that game is tight. 55-54, Oklahoma leading it with 3:40 left to go. And Brady Manick for Oklahoma, one of their top players, is out of the game today. So he's one of their top players, a big for Oklahoma, and out of that game today. 41-33, Florida missed the free throw, no good. Rebound by Florida, too, so they get the offensive board. That's their 8th offensive rebound today. Pass underneath to Castleton. Puts it up. No good. Missed the layup. Too strong off the glass. Should have made that one to cut the deficit, but couldn't. Kentucky going to set it up, slow it down. 17-10 left to go. Top of the key when Mintz dribbles towards the left wing. Mintz moves it over left baseline. Sarr almost lost control of it, but he's double team. Looks to pass it back. He moves it over to the right baseline. Keon Brooks drives inside. Puts it up. Good for 2. Reverse handed layup goes down by Keon Brooks Jr. Kentucky looking great. 43-33. Florida tries to drive inside, push the tempo. And the ball gets tapped out of bounds from behind by Kentucky. So Gators will get it right back. It's Austin Reeves tonight for Oklahoma with 18 points. Leading scorer for the Sooners. So yeah, it's the duo this season, Reeves and Manick, but without Manick, they're actually winning by 1 for Oklahoma. 16:40 left to go. Pro hop in the post. Brooks pass off the cutter over to Mintz, puts it up and in. Good for 2 right there off the backboard. Beautiful left baseline cut to receive the basketball. Davion Mintz double figures with 10 points. Florida has it here. Moves it over right corner perimeter. They turn it over. Trey Mann turnover. 11th of the game. And Kentucky did a great job tonight, only turning it over 5 times. And they had a turnover in their first possession. So 5 turnovers in this game by the Wildcats. Wow. What's good, Bill? Appreciate, man, for stopping by. He's already won Creighton and UConn today. That's great, man. He has USC and Oregon. Hopefully you'll be able to pull through and win those. I feel like Oregon's definitely due for a bounce-back game tonight. They lost at Colorado. Tough place to play at. A mile high up there at Colorado. 16-10 left to go. Askew dribbles top of the key. Moves it over to Mintz. Passes wide open 3. Keon Brooks. No good. Rattled out. Rebound back to the Gators with 16 minutes left to go. Down by 12. Largest deficit. Ball deflected. Stolen away. Here goes Askew. 2-on-1 Kentucky. Lob over to the top. Boston couldn't control it. Should have had it though in transition. Lost control of it. Out of bounds. Clock will stop with 15:53. Brandon Boston should have made that one in for 2 off the layup. Okay, so media timeout. 15:53 left to go now, folks. Kentucky down to 3 timeouts. Florida down to 2 here. Yeah, I heard about Tatum now, so he's out for over a week. So they're holding him out due to COVID-19 protocols. Unfortunate. Yeah, Robert Williams tested positive, and yeah, Jason Tatum tested positive as well. Just unfortunate, man. Bradley Beal, he is out tonight in his game too. So this just being announced by Shams Charania 20 minutes ago. Bradley Beal out tonight for the Wizards against Miami, and that's due to COVID-19 health and safety protocols, contact tracing as well, and exposure to Jason Tatum. So Bradley Beal is out of that game tonight due to exposure to Jason Tatum, it looks like, because they just played each other yesterday. Wow. So I thought there was no spread from team to team. That's what we found out in the NFL when the Tennessee Titans had like a rash of positive tests first week in the NFL. And the Minnesota Vikings turned back to have no tests when they played them back in opening week. And they're going to just say that Bradley Beal is going to be out for contact tracing tonight for that game. So he is being held out. That's a major loss, of course, for the Wizards. And right now with a 2-7 record, you're looking at most likely another L tonight against the Heat if you lose the majority of your offensive production right there. So Kentucky looking good, 45-33 to score in this one. And doing it with multiple players stepping up in a big way defensively. They have come to play today here for the Wildcats. And getting open, able to hit down shots. Keon Brooks Jr., he has changed the impact of this team. Coming back onto the court, perfect 4 for 4. Shooting, taking it to the bucket, driving inside. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block. Kentucky as a team tonight, they've got themselves 5 total blocks, 3 of those by Isaiah Jackson, by the way, off the bench. Kentucky bench points, they've got themselves 20 points off the bench, 2 by Toppin, 4 by Jackson, 6 by Dante Allen, and 8 by Keon Brooks Jr. And that is huge for the Wildcats. Those two. Dante Allen, discovered him a week ago what he could do from the perimeter. And he has knocked down 2 triples so far tonight. Keon Brooks Jr., he has got himself perfect 4 for 4, 8 points. And Mintz and Sarr both in double figures with 10 points each. Grayson's Cavs might not have a shot tonight. Sorry to hear that, man. And Giannis is out. Wow. Yeah, a lot of big names out this week. All right, 45-33. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I cover play-by-play basketball here on Behind the Arc Basketball. Glad to have you guys on board for tonight's stream. All right, so 12-point game now. Florida will have the basketball. Gators take it past the half-court logo at the left wing perimeter. Into the hands of Trey Mann. Shot fake. Takes the 3 over Askew. No good. Tipped up. They get the offensive rebound, though. Florida will have it. At the top, once again, Malak. Need a lot of points coming out. They've been better from the perimeter early on. Kentucky doing great interior defense today. Takes the 3, top of the key, cut it, hit it. Hit the front rim. Ball gets tipped up, though, as that will be a foul assessed to Sarr underneath. Time will stop on the clock with 15:28 left to go. So it'll be a shooting foul. First personal here in the second half. Kentucky doing a great job in these factors tonight. Personal fouls, they've only picked up in this entirety of this game tonight. 6 fouls as a team, and also turnovers. They've only turned it over 5 times and allowed Florida to turn it over 4 times. First free throw, no good, missed by Omar Payne. This actually resulted in 8 total Kentucky steals today. So Florida really having troubles with the handles in this game. Second free throw, Omar Payne missed it. So 0 for 2 that trip. That's a crusher there for the Gators. Kentucky with the basketball once again. 15:15 left to go. So the clock will stop once again. Yeah, Florida was the favorite, I believe, by like 4.5 on the line. I actually predicted Kentucky more in a high-scoring game. But their defense is showing up in a big way because Florida has been averaging over 80 points per game this season. All right, Kentucky inbound coming up. It's going to be Mintz, the one that will be the inbound passer. Wow, yeah, he has been low-key really great this year. Colin Sexton for the Cavs. If the NBA season ended today, Colin Sexton would be an MVP candidate. He's just been terrific this year. Kentucky basketball approaching 15 minutes left to go. Catch and shoot, left corner 3, knocks it down. What a big triple there. Are they going to count it or no? There was contact in the key. Yes, they count it. So that is good. Going down by Davion Mintz. 15-point Kentucky lead. Largest one of the game. As we have 15:07 left to go. Davion Mintz, they have found a sharp shooter that can knock it down with him. Yep, Tennessee won today over Texas A&M. Kentucky's looking to make it 3 straight, and that's a big triple there for them. And they also get the basketball back. There's a foul after the 3 was over committed by Florida. So Kentucky gets a little bit of help right there as they get the ball right back. Wildcats have it at the left wing. Mintz, as he dribbles now. Pro hop inside. Mintz passes back outside. Askew takes the 3 straight away. Oh, he got it. Devin Askew unleashes the 3, and he hits it. 51-33. Florida giving back-to-back triples up there in the last 25 seconds. 10-zip run by Kentucky with on the last 3 minutes of this game as the Gators going to take a timeout. They're down to 1 timeout left remaining. Kentucky down to 3. Wow. All right, so we're going to go on a timeout here. Big Blue Nation rolling out in this one, 51-33. Yeah, Grayson's a Cavs fan, and Sexton and Darius Garland as well. I got Garland in my fantasy team, and he was great to start off the year. He's been hurt, so I think he's probably going to return back sometime next week. But he's been really good this year too, with his second season. Jam21, welcome to the stream here. Yeah, Kentucky. Much better shot selection today, man. They're doing everything. This defense is scary, and they are turning in from going from that young team now to growing up, and this team is gaining maturity when you see it, and it's been happening here because of the three ball, making the extra pass, taking open jumpers, and completely changing. Keon Brooks attacks into the lane while Davion Mintz hits open three-point shots, and they've been key. And Florida's turned it over way too many times, and Kentucky's taking great care of the basketball. Total difference here from what we saw in 2020. 51-33, Florida has it. Top of the key, Castleton. Moves it over to the left wing. Into the hands of Trey Mann. He is double-teamed. Dribbles towards his right. Passes over to the top here to Glover. Glover now dribbles. Pro hop inside. Puts it up, and he's going to get fouled. Clock will stop with 14-17 left to go. If you guys are out here first time, spike the thumbs up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I cover play-by-play here basketball. I'm Behind Eric Basketball. Hey, Uncle Luke. Welcome on the stream, bud. Is it just him, or has the three Blue Bloods, North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, have had a good last couple of games? Yeah. I covered Duke. It was against Notre Dame to close out 2020. Bounce pass inside. Castleton cuts to the bucket. That's good for two as he slams it down. But Kentucky's just getting better. This is the best game they've played so far this season. Limiting the turnovers. And able to knock down and get open. Gain separation on the court and knock down open jumpers. And Keon Brooks has been able to change that quite a bit today as he's the one with the basketball. Lob over the top. Kentucky, though, off the fingertips of Askew. And Florida comes up with a steal. Bounce pass. That's going to get tipped from behind out of bounds. Clock will stop with 13:44. Yeah, all three young teams there. North Carolina is like half young or so. Very young in the backcourt for UNC. But Duke and Kentucky, very young teams, and yeah, they are really improved. Real question is, can anyone beat Gonzaga? That's the real question. I've got Gonzaga running the table until further notice, which I think they could very well go undefeated this year. 13.5 left remaining. Dribbles underneath. Florida puts it up and no good off the glass. They've had a couple layups that they should have got that they haven't been able to get there. Florida comes up with a steal. Puts it up, no good. Second chance. Castleton. Before that, though, there's a personal. And it's going to send Trey Mann over to the free throw line. I would say Baylor's probably going to be the best get on Gonzaga, but I think Texas might have the chance for like the best matchup, because Baylor shoots a ton of threes. Baylor's such a deep team. They're the deepest backcourt in the nation for Baylor. They have so many guards in their roster, just down the roster there. How many guards that can shoot the three and knock them down? But where Gonzaga would have the game against Baylor, I feel like it's the interior there with Drew Timme. First free throw, no good at the line. Florida missed. The second one's good. 51-36. What's good, Jacob? Fire Mike White. Ouch. Kentucky's just had Florida's numbers. They've won the past 4 straight games. Kentucky around the perimeter, though, getting immature here as they've turned it over last 2 possessions. Yeah, I think Texas could be one of the top matchups there. And Michigan's up there as well. Hunter Dickinson inside against Timme, but still, I've got Gonzaga over everyone at this point. Hey, what's good, Cheeto? No problem. Glad to have you in the stream, bud. 13:21 left to go. Florida will have the basketball. Kentucky has Kentucky has two seniors that mainly play, Davion Mintz and Olivier Sarr. Both of them came to the program as grad transfers. Florida pass, left baseline. DeRugi puts it up. It gets blocked there by Jackson. Isaiah Jackson with his fourth block. 13 minutes remain. 15-point lead. Kentucky will slow it down all day long. Wildcats now with the basketball. So they dribble at the right wing with Askew. Pass over to the top of the key. Over to Jacob Toppin. Moves it back over outside. That's to Mintz. Mintz at the top here. As he will dribble, free throw circle, moves it back around the perimeter to Askew. Askew takes the jumper, and he gets it. That's good for two. Yeah, Uncle Luke puts out here. Arkansas, they've got a lot of offensive weapons for Arkansas. My underrated teams I've got on the radar, UConn. Everybody's overlooking UConn 6-1. I think they could split the series this year with Villanova when they take them on. 3-point shot sails down right there at the left corner. That's good for 3 by Florida. 53-39, scoring picking up as of late. Kentucky going to set it up, though. They have it around the perimeter. Devin Askew with the basketball. At the top of the key. 12 minutes even remains. Eastern Kentucky alum here. He bleeds blue for Cheeto. Glad to have you in the stream, brother. From Guatemala. 5 in the shot clock. Askew has it at the top. They set the pick by Toppin. Moves it over to Toppin. Shot fake. He takes a deep 2 jumper. And it's not going to count anyway. The shot clock went down to double zeros. So Jacob Toppin went for the shot fake and released it after the shot clock. And Florida will have it right back. Yeah, Kentucky's going to have to run the table if they make it into the tournament. Because if they win this game, then they're going to be 4-6. But still a long way from the tournament. You're looking at 15-3 or so we're going to go on a timeout here. You're looking at, if you're Kentucky, you're looking at 15-3, 16-2, 17-1, perfect 18-0. And an impactful game coming up with a resume building opportunity going up against Texas, too, coming up later in the month. So all eyes on that game against Texas, because if Kentucky's able to shockingly upset Texas, which they look so good right now, they were able to win the game winner shot today. At the right corner. That'll be impressive there for Kentucky, because that's their last non-conference opportunity. And Andrew Jones, the name today for Texas, what a battle he had. He suffered. He had to step down from Texas for 2 seasons, battling leukemia, and it took a while for him to get back into basketball. He did not play, I think it was 2017-2018 season, and then 2018-2019 season for Andrew Jones. And what a story today. Hits down a right corner 3, and wins the game for Texas over West Virginia. So, yeah, UConn, without their leading scorer tonight, James Bouknight, who dropped down 40 against Creighton and lost by 2 in overtime. UConn will be undefeated right now, ranked in the top 25. Yeah, UConn 6-1. They were on quarantine and didn't play basketball for 17 days. They lost by 2 points against Creighton. And yeah, Creighton looking good too. Without Marcus Zagorowski today, they destroy St. John's. NFL going on right now. LA Rams up against the Seahawks, 20-13 in the third quarter with 9:50 left to go. Yeah, Uncle Luke puts out if they make the tournament that he feels like the Ohio Bobcats could be a Cinderella team. A lot of possibly Cinderella teams. I'm going to go out for St. Louis. I think they got possibly like Elite 8 potential there for St. Louis. They got one of the top rebounding guards in the nation with Jordan Goodwin for St. Louis, and they got scores in their roster. Javante Perkins, they got another big rebounder with Hassan French. They got size, and when they played NC State back in December, they were like a plus 20 on the boards against North Carolina State. And they also knocked off LSU. Very good team for St. Louis there. They can possibly bust some brackets. And also possibly Boise State as well. Boise State now, they've only got one loss this year. And it was up against Houston that they lost against. In the first week, it was back in November, they lost against Houston. So Boise State, couple key transfers they've got, or so. I think they got Abu Abu Kigab, who played at Oregon. And they also got Devonair Dutrieve, who played over at Arizona, who's on their team. So they've got some really good key players there for Boise State. Thoughts on Vermont? Vermont, I feel like in the preseason definitely has the opportunity. They're my preseason pick to win the America East, but they start out slower than usual this year. But I think they're still going to win the conference. 53-39. We're back to action. 14-point game. Vermont's usually the king of the America East every single year. Florida takes it inside into the lane. That's good for 2 off the backboard. Yeah, Colorado, too, is low-key pretty good as well. Grayson puts out McKinley right to Fort. Great point guard. Kentucky missed the first one, hit the front rim, but Isaiah Jackson able to come in from behind and clean that up with a two-handed putback jam. Kentucky by 14. 11 minutes left remain. Florida deep three from the edge of their logo. Not a good look at the front rim. Fight for the rebound. Kentucky going to come up with a steal. Nobody comes in from behind. Kentucky going to cash it in. Watch out with a big throwdown. Right-handed flush right there by the Wildcats. They extend it. 57-41. That is Keon Brooks Jr. making an impact. 5 for 6 from the floor with 10 points for Keon Brooks today. Florida pass around the perimeter. Oh no for Florida. Oof. Colin Castleton sends it to nobody, and it goes out of bounds. Kentucky will have the ball back with 10:39 left to go. Ouch. Colin Castleton knew it when his teammate just swap positions around the perimeter. Castleton left that ball just a little bit too late, went out of bounds. He knew it. Ouch. Oof. Terrible turnover. Who do I think's the team to beat this year in the SEC? Right now, I would go with Tennessee, but Alabama sneaky good right now at 4-0 in the SEC, and I think they're another sleeper, and they're going to get ranked this week. They definitely need to get ranked this week. 10:30 left to go. Kentucky up by 16, looking great. They're slowing it down into the hands of the top of the key of Mintz. Bounce pass left wing. Over to Dante Allen, who moves over to Jackson. Guarded by Castleton. Jackson reverse-handed layup up and in off the backboard. Count it with a bucket and the foul. Going to the free throw line. Shooting the and one coming up. 59-41. Yeah, I agree, Jam21. So, Kentucky can make the tournament if they go 16-9, nothing less right now. It all depends about who you win, who you lose there, but you're looking at, if you're Kentucky, you're looking at 15-3 or more. You got to go in the conference. 15-3, 16-2, 17-1. Run the table at 18-0 in the conference regular season in order to get there. Jackson good at the free throw line. Man, they are clicking on all cylinders in this game on the road at Florida. Half of their points, by the way, in the paint. 30 out of 60 for the Wildcats. We're halfway through the second half as well. Florida, who's been averaging around 81 points per game this year, held to 41 currently. Top of the key, they dribble into the hands of Trey Mann. Too much dribbling inside, moves it back out around the perimeter. Florida floats it up, ball gets blocked, ball is on the ground, able to get it back though. Appleby moves it back out, gets stolen away here by Kentucky. 2-on-1 fast break. Ball gets deflected out of bounds by the Gators. Last touch by Trey Mann as he stopped the transition. Florida, way too many turnovers. It is led today in this game for Kentucky to steal the basketball 8 total times and 13 total turnovers. 9:43 left to go. We're actually, 1 second here, it didn't refresh where I am, so there's actually more turnovers. 9:35 left to go. I'll update you guys with the count in just a moment. There we go. That's odd. It was stuck on a score from before. Inside jumper and banks it. Good for 2. By the Wildcats by Brandon Boston now with 7. Yeah, so that is 9 steals by Kentucky and 15 turnovers as that just updated. So that's the new update right there. 9-zip run by Kentucky last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Gators jumper. Off the mark, no good. Rebound Wildcats. Jeez, that's a major loss for the Rams there. Aaron Donald into the locker room due to an abdominal injury. They have it at the top of the key. Mintz with the basketball flings it over right corner. Allen puts it now into the hands of Brooks. Brooks right baseline, takes on his man, backs his way. Pro hop in the post, passes over to Jackson, shovels it out to Brooks. Pro hop inside, powers his way to the bucket for 2. Man, they are just killing Florida in the post in this game. 64-41, part of a 9-zip run last 3 minutes. Florida has it, the left wing. Gonna drop down some serious threes if you want to make a comeback because you're trailing right now by a bunch. Right baseline jumper, that not gonna help. Off the mark, ball goes out of bounds. What are you doing, Noah Locke? You gotta go after the basketball, show some fight, man. And he just lets it go out of bounds as he watches the basketball just bounce in the baseline for a solid 2 seconds before hitting out of bounds. Ouch. Kentucky has it back with 8:20 left to go. Kentucky has Florida's number. 4 straight. They're going to make it 5 straight if they're able to pull it out, which it looks like right now. Big Blue has been on top here for the past 4 in a row. Kentucky going to get the inbounds. Back in the backcourt as Askew will take it past half court. Askew here at the left wing. Moves it back over to Brooks, back over to Askew. Passes to a wide open Boston. Shot fake left baseline. Takes the jumper. Brandon Boston gets fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line coming up, shooting 2. 4th personal here for Florida. By the way, Kansas able to escape the victory against Oklahoma. Very tight game, 63-59. The final. Kansas winners by 4 in a low-scoring affair against Oklahoma today. First free throw, good. By Brandon Boston. What an improvement here by the Wildcats. Second free throw coming up by Brandon Boston at the charity stripe. Washington State losing to Stanford 69-60. Washington State entering that game with a record of 9-1. Free throw is good by Boston. Kentucky is whooping them, forcing 15 Florida turnovers. Boston now with 9. Florida basketball, top of the key for the Gators. Trey Mann, he dribbles, takes the 3 straight away off the mark. They are stone cold right now. Rebound Kentucky. 7:45 left to go. Wildcats have it. Brooks moves it back to the top of the key. Askew will set it up, slow it down. Exactly what the Wildcats needed. 20 on the shot clock, 7:40 left to go. Puts it out at the left wing over to Keon Brooks Jr. Passes over to the right wing, back over to the top of the key. Moves it back left baseline. Ball gets tipped, but into the hands once again of Brooks here. Keon Brooks takes the 3. No good off the mark. Rebound back to Florida as the Wildcats on a 13-zip run last 4 minutes. Gators will set it up now. Urgency is needed, and they're not going to do any. They're dribbling way too much. Glover still dribbles in the key. Finally moves it back outside with 17 on the shot clock. They'll take a 3. DeRougie off the mark offensive rebound as Payne gets it. Sets it up, slides inside, wide open. Big jam. Throwing it down by Anthony DeRougie. 66-43. Big Blue's been on top throughout this one. What's good, 941? Florida low. Appreciate Bud for stopping them by. Yeah, disappointing for Mike White, man. This is just disappointing. He was on the hot seat for my preview video for the college basketball coaches hot seat, and if this keeps up right now, it's done for Mike White. Him got to get out of there. Jim Christian for Boston College, year-long due, brother. Got to get out of there right now. That program's going nowhere. 66-43. 6:20 left to go. Moves it over left wing. 3 ball. Kentucky off the mark. No good. Rebound Gators. Trey Mann now with the basketball. Under 6:20 left to go. At the top, they'll take a 3 straight away. DeRougie can't hit it. The 3's just not going down, rattling out as a lead. Rebound Wildcats, they'll slow it down. Approaching 6 on the clock. Ball into the hands of Askew. Puts it back into the hands of Boston. Moves it back over left wing perimeter to Dante Allen. Back outside to Askew. 5:50 left to go. Askew with 12 on the shot clock. Back over to Boston at the left wing. Brandon Boston over to Askew. 6 on the shot clock. 5:45 left to go. Over to Keon Brooks Jr. Brooks now dribbles and lost control of it as the shot clock expires. So terrible possession there by Kentucky. They barely even took it inside. As Keon Brooks turned it over, ball went out of bounds and Florida going to have it back. So yeah, if you're Kentucky, You got to just go back to the game plan, what you've been doing throughout the entirety of this game, attacking in the post, as they have just torched the Gators tonight as far as points in the paint tonight. 66-43, going to go on another timeout here, folks, in this game. 23-point Kentucky lead. Wildcats just torching them. Scoreboard update for the NFL. Rams up against the Seahawks still 20-13 with 6:38 left to go, third quarter. Yeah, Florida collapses in plays like this. I agree, Grease, and they're not a tournament team. They almost lost to Army in their first game. They're lucky. They're very lucky for Florida that they didn't get Boston College in the first week. Boston College has got worse and worse through every single game. They were a hard test in their season opener against Villanova, but they got Boston College when they were just getting worse. So let's see here. We take a look at Florida's schedule. So we get 66-43 the score. Plus 140. I had said to take the over. Somebody had put I think it was 138 around halftime or so for his over. He had at halftime. So live over right now looks like it's 140 out there. Welcome in P on the stream. This is 109. I would go yes there for the over. I think Florida's going to be urgent and start scoring. That's the thing. And Kentucky will have to score more to win this game. But it's already in the balance right now. Let's see for Florida here. What they got upcoming schedule. They need to start being urgent with the basketball. And these are no gimme for games. They got Tennessee twice. So this is their upcoming schedule for Florida. Tuesday at home against Ole Miss. That should be a W, you would think. If you lose to Ole Miss, that's going to be rough there. And then they got another tight game. Mississippi State. On the road at Mississippi State with two breakout players for the Bulldogs. With one of them, Molinar. Molinar for Mississippi State's just been going off lately. So Saturday against Mississippi State a week from now. Then they got Tennessee. Then they take on Georgia on the 23rd. Vanderbilt. And then the SEC Big 12 Challenge, that's no tough task either. Oh, that's a terrible matchup. Florida takes on West Virginia. On the road at West Virginia for the SEC Big 12 matchup. Then they got a tough schedule to close it out in February. LSU, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Georgia, Auburn, Kentucky again on February 27th. And close it out against Missouri on the 3rd. On Wednesday, March 3rd. Wow. So that's a very difficult schedule right there for the Gators. So here we go right back into action. 66-43 the score. It's going to be Florida basketball. So here we go right back in. 5:25 left to go. Florida jumper, no good off the mark. Gets rebounded back over to Kentucky. And they will just keep on slowing it down. Boston has it at the left wing. Moves over to Mintz now. Mintz back over to Boston, left wing. Pass over to Jackson, left baseline. Jackson lost control of the basketball. It's on the ground. Scotty Lewis couldn't come up with it either. Bounce pass, Kentucky able to get it back. Jackson floats it up, no good. Rebound back over to the Gators with 5 minutes left to go. Actually, right now, over-under, if... So it's second half. If it's over-under right now, I'm going to say scrap it. Because I had said over. I thought that Florida could have scored right out of the timeout. No. I would take the under right now. I thought, honestly, Florida would pick it up. 5 minutes left to go. This just doesn't look good for Florida. So, if you... Sorry about that. Because we had joined in with about 6 minutes left to go here. Florida's still stuck at 43. Ouch. So this is going to definitely hit the under now. Like, way. It's at 109. And the over-under is at 140. Total's at 109. This is not even going to be close. So 4:57 left to go. And Florida's been scoreless for a long time. So they're just not urgent with the basketball at all in this one. 66-43, timeout taken on the court. If you guys are new on the stream, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I cover play-by-play basketball here on Behind the Arc Basketball. They do it in second halves, or two halves P. So college is 2 halves, is not quarters. NBA is quarters. Thoughts on Ohio State? They're a small ball team for the Buckeyes, but yeah, they should be able to make it into the tournament for Ohio State. That I think Rutgers now is the team in jeopardy that really needs to start to find their identity, because Rutgers has lost their last 4 out of 5 for Rutgers, and Ohio State had a good win today. Hey, no problem, P. So yeah, if you're still debating betting on this game, I would definitely take the live under for this game if that is still going on right now. Alright, so we are back into action. 66-43 with 4:50 left to go. Florida has it top of the key. They move it back to the left wing perimeter. Into the hands of Noah Locke, and yeah, Florida is just no urgency. Bounce pass to Scotty Lewis, lays it up and in, that's good for 2. This game, honestly, I thought that it would just pick up, but Kentucky has kept on slowing it down and done a tremendous job with that today. Wildcats dribble Boston, back out to the top of the key to Askew. What's good, Chris? Appreciate it, bud, for stopping them by, man. At the edge of that Gator logo, Askew will slow it down. 10 on the shot clock, and nothing that Florida can do. They move it underneath. Big jam. Thrown down by Jacob Toppin for the Wildcats. 68-45. 4 minutes left to go. Florida been scoring a bucket a minute, basically. That's not enough at all to compete. Just no urgency. So much dribbling around the perimeter by Florida. As they try to take it inside here, Kentucky going to get called for the personal. Clock will stop with 3:55. So Kentucky picks up their 7th. Yeah, Vermont football. Oh, man. I don't even know if they have a football team for Vermont. I don't think so. Do they? They have a club football team. Yeah, I didn't think that they had like an actual oh, they play in the, they do play in the Yankee Conference, really? Or they used to play? Let's see. Wow. Yeah, rough game today for Florida here. Welcome to the stream, Peter. Glad to have you guys out on the channel right now, and we're gonna go to a timeout. Under 4 minutes left to go. They've been improving, UJIT. They've been improving, but still a long way to go. If they want to make it into the tournament, they got to go 15-3, 16-2, 17-1, or 18-0 in the regular season of the conference play. That's the thing. And Kentucky's going to get their 5th straight over here against Florida with Mike White. And, yeah, he's on a real hot seat right now. Big time hot seat for Mike White. Rams versus Seahawks. Minute 58 left to go in the third quarter. Rams up 20-13 the score. Hey, that Wisconsin game against Louisville, that Wisconsin game, Wisconsin just got hot from the perimeter, knocking down shots, beat them by 37. But, yeah, Louisville's best player, Carlik Jones, was not playing today. Or, not playing in that game against Wisconsin. So, He's been the most impactful transfer in all college basketball so far this season for Carlik Jones. So that was more of just an outlier of a game there. That's like that night that the Milwaukee Bucks got hot against the Heat and were just dropping down 29 three-point shots and set the record. That's more like Wisconsin, what they did against Louisville there. No way in the world would have that game, if they play against each other ever again. If those two teams, Wisconsin and Louisville, take on each other 10 times, that's the outlier for that. All the other games are going to be close. Just take that one away. It's going to be 37 points, but the other 9 matchups going to be much closer games than that, especially if Carlik Jones had played that game. 68-45 to score. Let's be respectful out here to no matter who you root for, by the way. I haven't seen it yet, Vaughn, the Tesla phone. I heard about that, though, Chris the Kid there. Elon Musk, pretty sure. Yeah, I heard about that. He passed Jeff Bezos yesterday, richest man alive. First free throw, goodbye to Gators at the line. Yeah, I agree with that, Peter. I'm from Massachusetts, and I'm a Celtics fan for the NBA, big New England sports fan, but I'm not like a big Boston College fan. I'm more of a fan for Providence and URI for college hoops. But yeah, Jim Christian of Boston College, he had a terrible loss against Florida back in December, and yeah, Jim Christian should have been gone long time ago. And yeah, this is gonna be it for Mike White, especially if they can't turn it around. 68-47 to score. .355 left to go. Florida taps it out of bounds by Appleby. Inbound coming up here. It's going to be Kentucky inbound, looking to put it in the backcourt. They do into the hands of Askew. Under 4 minutes left to go. He is double-teamed, and the clock will stop with 3:51, as that will be a Kentucky timeout. So Kentucky burns a timeout now. Wise timeouts. They were double-teamed right in the backcourt. 3:51 left to go. 7 personal fouls picked up by the Wildcats. 5 by Florida. Kentucky down to 2 timeouts. Gators with 1. Alright, so we're going to go on the timeout here once again, everybody. If you guys are new on the stream, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. I cover play-by-play basketball action here, college basketball games, NBA games here as well, and Behind the Arc Basketball. Hey, Kentucky's been improving. That's been the big thing. They came in with a young team. All these players never played with each other before. All these new players. And just such a young team, and they are improving. And I've seen it today. This is their best game they played today. And they are making the extra pass, hitting open jumpers. Not really turning it over for much of this game, which has been huge. That game against Georgia Tech, they turned it over 21 times. Led to, I think, like 32 points off of turnovers for the Yellow Jackets. The problem for Kentucky this year has just been closing out games. They lost against UNC because of the foul trouble. And lost against Georgia Tech in Richmond because they turned it over way too many times. And their youth has been through a lot as far as this team. And they've gotten better and better each and every single game after that. And they are looking great for the new year. Big reason why. Able to find some knockdown shooters from the perimeter. So 3:35 left to go. Florida able to knock down a 3. That's good at the right corner. 68-50. Askew puts it now into the hands of Mintz, back outside the Boston. Brandon Boston over to the top of the key. What they've done that's been great, Brandon Boston, less shot attempts and more from the interior, like these guys. Jackson has it right now, but he lost control of it. Stolen away in the key there by Scotty Lewis. Full steam ahead, floats it up Isaiah Jackson. Gonna get another big block right there. Pass up ahead of the pack. Kentucky missed the layup off the backboard, no good by Toppin. He falls down, no foul, rebound Florida. 3 minutes left to go. Gators push it out to the left wing. They're going to slow it down, and Florida really needs urgency. Lost control of the basketball, but they're able to get it back. They dribble left baseline, back outside. Appleby moves it back top of the key to Lewis. 12 on the shot clock here. You're down by 18. What are you doing not taking a quick jumper? Come on. Scotty Lewis, deep 2, takes it way off the mark, no good. Fight for the rebound. Kentucky coming down with it. If you want to make it a game, you got to go urgent. Florida has never done that today. Kentucky has it. 2:30 left to go. 24 on the shot clock, and they'll do what they keep on doing tonight, slowing it down. Askew with the basketball at the edge of the Gators logo. He's double-teamed. Askew lost control of the basketball on the ground, able to come up with it, though. And the clock will stop with 2:18 remaining. And it's a timeout taken as Askew is on the floor with the ball. So Kentucky burns another timeout. They're down to 1 timeout remaining for Coach Cal. And Mike White down to 1 timeout left to go for Florida. So Kentucky here, Big Blue just rolling straight up in this one. Stanford has won against Washington State 75-60 the final. Georgetown taking on Syracuse. This game's late because the net had a hole in it. It was ripped in the net, so they had to change the net. So it was like a 15-minute stoppage in time in this game, very early on in like the first 4 minutes. Yeah, they played 7 games to 9 games. All these teams are at different places. That's the thing. I think Stanford's probably going to be in the first 4. Stanford, Providence in the first 4, along with USC in the first 4, most likely. And then there'll be somebody else that gets into the first 4. Probably like Xavier or Seton Hall, most likely, into the first 4 as well. So yeah, Pac-12 Big East, I feel like those teams have like teams that's going to be borderline. And maybe like somebody like Oklahoma will be in the first 4. I think TCU is going to be NIT most likely. 68-52 the score. 16-point game now. Kentucky floats it over the top. Boston tries to grab it as he gets knocked down and fouled here. Clock will stop with 1:51. Florida picks up their 6th personal foul. It's going to be Brandon Boston coming up at the line. Yeah, those are the 2 key players there Grayson puts out. As far as leaders, agreement. Oscar Da Silva, Zaire Williams. The whole Pac-12 is going to get sorted out throughout the course of this year. First free throw. That one is good. Second free throw by Boston hits it down, and Kentucky with 70. Kentucky's defense been huge in this game, especially on the interior. Florida, left baseline, final minute 45. The Gators came into this game averaging around 81 points per game. Top 45 offense. And held to only 55 as they hit that 3-point shot. Wildcats dribble past half court, going to slow it down once again. Askew with the basketball, minute 25 remaining. Before you sign off, make sure to give this video a like, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Ring that notification bell as well. Make sure to join me back for the special live stream, Buccaneers versus Washington football team, in about an hour from now, as I'll be calling play-by-play for that one. Kentucky drives into the post, floats it up. There's contact once again, and a foul. As Wildcats once again here going to shoot at the charity stripe. Evansville, Prairie View A&M, Western Kentucky, Seton Hall. Kansas, Notre Dame, UNC, Richmond. Who plays better teams? Out of all that, Kansas has the most stacked schedule. When you get into Big 12 conference play, look at all the teams that's ranked in the top 25 there. Kansas, Notre Dame, UNC, yeah. Okay, yeah. I got what you mean now about that, comparing the schedules. I thought you were actually asking like who had the schedules there. It's like what? 72-55 the score here, folks. But yeah, Kentucky lost to 1 by Notre Dame. They came from behind and made a big comeback by 22, but it was tight. If Olivier Sarr hits that jumper, same spot that he had it at the right baseline against Notre Dame and against Louisville, we are talking about Kentucky in a different way right now for this team. So we are talking about Kentucky differently, and we'd be talking about a 5-4 team about to improve to 6-4 right now for Kentucky. Instead, it's a 3-6 team about to go 4-6. Providence will be in the tournament. That is one thing for sure. When you got a great duo of David Duke and Nate Watson, they'll find their way into the tournament. Never count out Ed Cooley. 1:08 left to go, 72-57. And Kentucky will go back to the charity stripe once again. Alright, so they're going to be shooting here at the charity stripe. 1-1 by Askew. First free throw, got it. Second free throw coming up at the line here by Askew. Final minute and 5 left to go. Yeah, Grayson puts out like Ohio State, thinks that people overlook Dwayne Washington. That team lost a lot too in the offseason, so once they get clicking, I think they're going to be in pretty good shape for Ohio State. 17-point lead in the final minute. Florida dribbles, takes the floater. Appleby gets fouled, and he's going to head to the line as Askew picks up the personal. Yeah, never count out Ed Cooley, no matter what happens. If there's a Big East tournament, doesn't matter until the Big East tournament if they're not going to be an at-large, because they'd have to win out. And crazy things have happened, especially in like the Missouri Valley for that conference. Crazy things have happened with Siege just coming out of nowhere and winning the title game. Florida at the line goes 1 for 2. At the charity stripe, 74-58. Final minute left to go. Pass up ahead to Askew. He dribbles. Florida not going to pick up a foul. Pass over to Jackson. He sends it over to the left corner of the front court here. Over to Mintz. Scotty Lewis guarding Mintz, and Lewis will tap that one out of bounds as he pokes it out of bounds there. So Kentucky gets it back. Final 46 seconds. $74-58 to score, 46 seconds left to go. Yo, Wichita State has been like, for the Shockers, a shocker so far this year for Wichita State. Because they lost like a lot of their pieces. They had a ton of players transfer. I think they had more players transfer than any other team this year. And they're actually sitting well this season for Wichita State. Looking pretty good for them, like low-key. How often do I do Florida games? Sometimes. It depends on the teams. I cover college games and NBA games, so I usually do whatever games are on like national TV or so from time to time. Final 42 seconds remaining. I think they can squeak in there. All depends on who they beat. They definitely need to split the series against Villanova, though, for Providence to get into the tournament. First free throw, good at the line by Askew. Second one follows it up, as that one's good. They got themselves 18-point lead, final 40 seconds. Michael, welcome to the stream here, bud. Yep, Kentucky definitely has turned it up today. And they have done a great job as far as passing to the open man, hitting open jumpers. So we got 20 seconds left to go. Florida jumper, no good off the mark. Rebound, Kentucky. And yeah, I had said before the new year begun that Kentucky, in order to make the tournaments, they would have to go like 15-3, 16-2, 17-1, 18-0 in the conference. And they're going to have to run the table in the SEC. That's the thing they'll have to do to finish overall record with 9 losses or less, I feel like, for Kentucky for the regular season. But they make a case right now. They're still very far away from making the tournament for Kentucky, but this one helps. Big W, not even close. 76-58. This game has gone final over Florida here, guys. Glad to have each and every single one of you out on the stream tonight, being a part here. Gonna sign off on this one here, folks, and I'll be back in a little bit for a special live stream covering the playoffs for the NFL for a special live stream tonight. Washington football team against the Buccaneers. Before you sign off, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your night, everybody, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball. Before I go, I'm going to send a thank you out to the members out on the channel here. For my 3 channel members, Jack, Jason, the sports expert. Thanks so much, guys, for supporting out this stream here and being channel members. If anybody would like to become a channel member, as low as $1.99 per month, we have for special shout-outs here at the end of my live stream. So that's a wrap here, folks. Kentucky on top, 5 in a row over Florida winners, 76-58. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.